Hi and welcome back to my booktube channel. My name is Sam and today I had a little idea. I've had this idea brewing for a little bit, and basically we're just going to be gay and eat some cake because I have three queer novels about baking, about cooking, and I just thought, why not just read them and do them all in a video, because I think that'd be really fun. And hopefully you can get some recommendations if you like cooking / baking books that are queer. So here we have them. So this video is called Be Gay Eat Cake, so feel free to do either of those within the span of this video. But yeah, I'll talk to you about the three books that I'm going to be reading, which are all coincidentally green. That's not planned. These just happen to be three books on my shelves that I thought would work well in a video. So let's talk about them. So the first book is Lose You to Find Me by Erik J.Brown. He is the author of All That's Left in the World, which I haven't read, but if you have, there you go. And this is going to be the first book in the video, and I've already started it here, as you can see. This one follows, what are the name, Tommy. This book follows Tommy, who works at this kind of really posh, like, old people's home. Like, they have a whole dining hall and stuff like this, and they have like caterers and stuff. Anyway, so he works at this really posh old people's home, and he's basically trying to get into a really good culinary school, and he needs his manager's kind of, what's it called, his manager's, what is the word has completely left my brain. Reference. He needs his manager's reference because she had worked with one of the famous chefs that is at this culinary school, so he kind of needs her good word to make him look better than the other people applying to it, basically. And that is all complicated when his childhood first kind of childhood love shows up at this old people's home. He's like, hey, I'm new, can you show me around? And it's like he's completely forgotten who Tommy is. So we're kind of looking into what's the drama going to be with this old friendship love reunite thing. Anyway, the next book that we'll be doing in this video is going to be Paris Daillencourt is about Crumble. Now I believe this one is about a cookery show. It's by Alexis who's written books like Boyfriend Material, Husband Material, Glitterland. He's written a lot of queer books. This one's about a cookery show. They're like rivals and they're trying to win this cookery show whilst being rivals, but also falling in love. I assume. I'm just going to go off that until we've started reading this one. And then the final book that we'll be talking about is Fake Dates and Mooncakes. The sun is just my enemy today. It was not there a minute ago. Okay, Fake Dates and Mooncakes by Sher. I've had this on my shelf and I've been so excited for it. I absolutely love the cover art. Like, it's so beautiful. I just love this kind of style, and not necessarily all kind of cartoony couples on book covers, there we go, but just this artist in particular. Cover art by Miriam Strasberg. So beautiful artwork. I just love it. So this one is I have no clue. I bought it because of the cover and the recommendations from like people like the Ruby's Digest and stuff. I was like, I've got to have that. But I believe it's this boy and he works at his parents' food shop and then he falls in love, I assume. Anyway, it's a romance. Like, how nuanced can it be? There's going to be love involved. So yeah, they're the three books. Lose You to Find Me, Fake Dates and Mooncakes, and Paris Daillencourt is about to Crumble. So yeah. Oh god. These are the three green queer baking / cooking books that I'll be reading in this video. If you've read any of these, let me know in the comments. If you haven't, stick around to hear my thoughts. I'm going to try and keep this as non-spoilery as possible. We're going to be a bit vaguer in this video, but I will mention if there's going to be any spoilers, okay? So yeah, subscribe to... stick around and subscribe if you want to see more from me. Leave a like, comment down below, and yeah, let's get into the video. So, Lose You to Love Me is the first one. Okay. As I said, I have started Lose You to Find Me, which is very similar to the Selena Gomez songs Lose You to Love Me or something. I think that's what it's called. I love that song and I don't even know the name of it. But yeah, that's where it kind of reminds me from. That's what it kind of reminds me of. So I wonder if that kind of inspired the title of this book. I'm not sure. Maybe it did. But so far in this book, I'm kind of really enjoying it. It's like, I haven't read a YA romance for a little bit, so going back into one, it's just so cute and quaint, and he's all their struggles are so simply resolved. Like there's like this part where he's like, I don't even know if this guy's gay, and I'm like, just ask, just ask, or just figure it out. Why are you making it such a problem? But it's like such YA struggles that I've not been kind of around for a while, so I'm just finding that really cute. The vibes are cute. I'm enjoying kind of the characters. Normally when I read books like this, I don't really care about the characters that much. That's kind of where I struggle, because they're all just like, in fantasy books, you're like, oh, this person's an assassin and they do this, whereas in contemporary books, it's like, this person is just a person. And I find that kind of hard to get attached to when you read so many books and you got so many of these people that are so like just normal people. It kind of gets hard for me to kind of get attached. But with this one, I've kind of jumped onto them straight away, and I'm actually really enjoying them. We have Tommy and I think the other one's called Gabe. Yeah, Gabe. And they're cute, and I'm intrigued to find out, like, I don't know whether he's actually forgotten Tommy from their experience together, because we have not found that out yet. But I kind of feel like maybe he's pretending not to know Tommy. Maybe something awkward happened, and that's why this first time back together he pretended not to know him. I feel like maybe something awkward happened, and that's why that happened. But honestly, I don't know, and I'm excited to find out. But like, if he intentionally just pretended not to know who Tommy is, it's kind of a red flag. Like, why are you doing that? Like, come on. The cookery side of this is that they work in the culinary, I hate that word, culinary sphere of this old people's home, and they haven't really interacted with the kitchen much, so I'm a bit like, am I stretching this to be a cooking book? But maybe they'll cook something later. I mean, the main character Tommy is always like baking at home, so I'm still counting this as a cookery book. But yeah, they're my thoughts so far. I'm about 110 pages into this yet, and it's 380 pages long. So yeah, I'm not that far into it, but thought I'd give a little update. I'll see you when I finished it. I'm hoping to finish it tonight, so see you there. Okay, so I'm back with a little bit of a different setup. I can't bother to get my tripod out, so this is what we're working with. But I just finished Lose You to Find Me, which is the first book of this video. It's by Erik J.Brown. And yeah, I think overall I quite enjoyed this. I was going to say really enjoyed it, but I don't think I was that like enthralled by it. I enjoyed my time with it. It was like a fun little rom-com-y situation. There was some homewreckery vibes, which I wasn't a fan of, but it wasn't like that deep. It wasn't that deep. So I enjoyed this book. It was really cute, and I'm glad the direction we went in. There was, as you saw in the previous clip, there was a moment where I was like, what the hell? Like, there was this completely random thing that happened, and it was just, I wasn't expecting it. It was rather extreme. So yeah, I wasn't expecting what happened. Yeah, I'm trying to do a video of non-spoileries, but it's kind of hard actually. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I think I would give it 4 stars. Like, it was enjoyable, but I'm just removing that star because it wasn't like a favorite, and there were definitely some elements that I could have done without. There was also some kind of elements that felt a bit forgotten about. Like, we learn that when they challenge each other within this care home situation, two people have an argument, they'll have a butter fight. Like, they'll get little packets of butter that are left on the tables, and then they'll go outside and kind of squirt them at each other. And that happened once. And I was like, was it really necessary? Because it was already kind of weird and like, what? When it first happened, and then it just never like happens again. So it's kind of like, okay, it felt like a weird inclusion, like that could have just been cut. Like, it was weird. The Gabe, who was the love interest for this, I wasn't that fan of. I was a fan of in that first clip, and I mentioned about him like saying they was like he didn't know each other, and the reasoning behind what actually happened with that, I'm just like, not my favorite kind of guy. And there's some stuff later on, and I couldn't really like get attached to him. I didn't really care about him. He had a tragic backstory. Like, his backstory was so deep for like a YA novel, and what also happens later in the book to these two characters, it's a lot deeper than I expected it to be with the YA. So yeah, I wasn't a fan of him. I wish I could have liked him more, but I actually liked the side character more, so I'm kind of glad they weren't forgotten about. This is hard. This is hard. Okay, so yeah, overall, 4 stars. I really enjoyed this one. I would definitely recommend it. It had some fun stuff in it. The messages behind the kind of main themes were interesting. I enjoyed them, and I think they had some really nice morals behind them. But yeah, I definitely recommend this one. So Paris Daillencourt is about Crumble is the next read of this video. Let's get straight into this. I have not started it yet, but I'll see you when I have. Hi, so I'm back and I've read Paris Daillencourt is about to Crumble. Now, this one just wasn't it for me, unfortunately. I think I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't as good as Lose You to Find Me was, if we're going to compare them. But yeah, basically, if you don't know, Paris Daillencourt is written by Alexis. It's about kind of this knockoff Great British Bake Off with 2 of the contestants, Paris and Tariq, who kind of fall in love, and we kind of follow their journey through kind of getting to know each other, and also kind of the trials and tribulations of the contest and their mental illnesses. Paris has anxiety, which makes him overthink everything, and it's like really severe. So yeah, it's a nice tale about that, but I just think the way it was written was my main issue with this book. Like, I understand that it's Paris's point of view. He's supposed to be overthinking everything. That is what he sees the world as. But as a reader, it just got so annoying to read from that constantly, because not even that the overthinking part of it, it was just he was constantly overthinking the same thing, so it kind of felt repetitive. And I'm like, if you're going to show an overthinker, at least give them a bit of variety, make them think of some more scenarios than just like, oh, what about if I died? And I'm just like, yeah, the overthinking, I understand where it was coming from. I do think it could have worked. I just don't think Alexis Hall pulled it off. I just felt it was so repetitive and it got so infuriating. And I've had a few read-throughs of some Goodreads reviews to see if I was the only one feeling that way, because I don't want to be like a bit harsh on it if no one else saw that. But like, most of the reviews I read were saying that it was over the top. And that was kind of the main point, that most people like DNF'd it and stuff. So I feel a bit validated in that it wasn't just me that felt that way. But yeah, I feel like that was my main problem. Also, there was no chemistry between Paris or Tariq at all. They were complete opposites. They had nothing in common. And I couldn't even name a single romantic moment in this book, or moment that was intentionally supposed to be romantic but was actually romantic. Like, it all just fell so flat, and they felt like they had no chemistry. They didn't have anything in common other than baking, and even then it's like they don't have the same motivations for baking. And yeah, it was just a letdown, to be honest with you. I don't think I would recommend this one. I feel like there's better books out there, as you'll probably see in this video. Like, I'd rather you read Lose You to Find Me than this one, because at least that one is interesting. But yeah, I feel like I'm being too harsh. What did I like about this? I liked Morag, the roommate. She was cool. She had some cringy lines. There was a lot of cringy lines in this book. I don't know if it's Alexis Hall overall, but because I've read, the only other book I've read by him is Glitterland, and I liked that one, but it was still kind of cringy at times. So maybe it's just Hall's writing style. But yeah, I liked Morag. She was probably my favourite character, even though she wasn't really in it that much. And that's probably telling why she was my favourite, because she didn't have enough time to be like ruined. I like the concept of like the knockoff Great British Bake Off, and I like the abusive like director who was like really nice on camera but like horrible off camera. I thought that was cool. I think some of the other contestants were some interesting like characters there. There was like a teacher there. There was this old guy, and yeah, the contestants were fairly interesting, probably more interesting than Paris's point of view. But yeah, they're my positives. I like the contestants and the kind of theme of it being Great British Bake Off. I liked kind of how we ended on kind of how the ending happened, because felt appropriate. But yeah, overall, just the cons outweighed the positives for me on this book. The way it was written, the characters, the chemistry, none of it really clicked for me, and I don't blame all the people that DNF'd it in the Goodreads reviews. I probably should have done it, but I'm obviously reading it for this video, so I didn't. So I suffered through this one for you guys. So now the next book is, I don't have it with me right now, but the next book is Fake Dates and Mooncakes by Shirley, I think, but I'll put it here. But that's the next one I'm going to read, okay? So I'll see you then. So I'm back and I've read the final book, Fake Dates and Mooncakes by Sher. And yeah, I really enjoyed this one. It was a cute little YA romance. It was a fake dating, so it's kind of obvious where the storyline is going to go, and that's why I don't really read fake dating, but where I can. But for here, I mean, I own it and it was cute. So, but yeah, I don't really normally read fake dating, but I feel like this one at least brought kind of some nice queerness to it. There was some interesting subversions, but it was very formulaic, I will say. But I think overall this was one of my favourites of this video. It was fun, it was cute, the characters were entertaining, the storyline was interesting. And yeah, it was just fun to read. I thought it was a nice little writing style. It didn't try and do too much, like it knew what it was here to do and it did it. And that's one of the reasons why it's so thin. I'd definitely love to see more in this world and with these characters and with this art. But yeah, I think overall this was a 4-star read for me. If you want to know what this one is about, it follows this boy called Dylan, and he works at his aunt's kind of bakery that's really struggling. They're struggling to pay rent and stuff like that. And on top of that, they have really rude customers as well. So their kind of drive in this novel is to enter this mooncake making competition to kind of win some promotion for their shop and get it some attention that it really needs to get more money. And then the rude customer aspect, this dude is like, you put spring onions in my noodle, I could have died, and he's basically an asshole about it. But then his rich boyfriend comes in called Theo, and immediately Dylan's like drawn to him, and they bond, and then Theo proposes the idea that they fake date because Theo needs to go to a family wedding and he doesn't want them to set him up with other rich dudes, but like, why? Get the money. But he's like, hey Dylan, I'll help you with your mooncake stuff if you come to the wedding as my fake date, and we kind of go from there. I won't say too much more because I don't want to spoil anything. It is a very basic plot, it knows what it's doing, so it is kind of hard not to spoil it if I went any further detail. But that's kind of the fake dating premise, but that's kind of the fake dating element of this, and then obviously the mooncake competition is where the baking comes in. So yeah, overall I quite enjoyed this. I thought it was interesting. The characters were interesting. I wish we'd got a bit more of the corgi. This book promises corgis, but really I can't even remember the name of the corgi at this point, and I literally just finished the book, but he was barely even in it. The only thing we got from it was like, this corgi doesn't really like people, but it likes Theo, so Theo must be a keeper. And it's like, okay, that was like the most basic plot device you could have used the dog for. So I would have liked a bit more of the dog in here. I'd also liked a bit more development for the side characters like the aunt and the sister. And the family of Theo, I wish they got a bit more development. There was a particular 2 people that got quite a bit of development, but the other ones were kind of surface level. I think we could have spent a bit more time getting to know them. But yeah, I think it was a very efficient plot. We got what we were promised, and we got a cute little romance. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this one. 4 stars. Definitely would like to see more of this world, like I've said. I think it'd be fun, and yeah. I'll say I wasn't really a fan of the poor rich dynamic. I know it was just to add to their characters, but I don't know, it just kind of felt uncomfortable that Theo kept splashing cash. It almost felt like he was buying the affection, and that wasn't really addressed that much. Other than Dylan going, oh no, I don't like wearing stuff that's twice my salary, blah blah blah. So I wish maybe there'd been a bit more development or a bit more characterization around that dynamic. But yeah, I just wasn't a fan because, I don't know, it felt there was a lot. It was like a lot, if you know what I mean. And I was a bit like, is this chemistry, or we just here for the money? Because, I mean, either's fine. But yeah, so there could have been a bit more development around that. But overall, I really enjoyed this. It was a cute little romance, and it did what it promised. And I would definitely recommend this for anyone looking for a queer baking book. I mean, that's what this video is for. So anyway, let's round off this video because I've been talking for a while. But yeah, let's rank them. So we've got Fake Dates and Mooncakes. We have Lose You to Find Me. It feels like ages since I read this one. And then we have Paris Daillencourt is About to Crumble. Now, I think we know which one is going to be my least favourite here. This one. Paris Daillencourt is About to Crumble comes in 3rd. It was just so irritating to read. The main character was so annoying, and it didn't really feel like a romance. Like, there was no chemistry between the characters. So yeah, this one's going to have to be 3rd. And then it's a tough choice between these 2. But I think I'm going to give it to Fake Dates and Mooncakes 1st place, just because I've read it more recently and it's more in my head. And yeah, it was so cute, and just the artwork is so beautiful. So I think I'm going to give first place to Fake Dates and Mooncakes, and Lose You to Find Me comes in second. So there's the order. If you were interested, there we go. Big A, eat cake, have fun. Leave a like, comment and subscribe. Let me know if you've read any of these down in the comments below, what your thoughts were, if you've got any recommendations. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully, I'm still trying to work through my dissertation, so there's probably going to be a bit sparse video-wise for the moment. That's why I've not posted anything in March. But yeah, once my dissertation is done, I've got a whole backlog of videos to film and post, so get ready for that. Wish me luck for my dissertation. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Check out my Instagram. It's linked down below. Like, comment and subscribe. Bye!